Um, Guys, just read this question and then we'll solve it. Now look at the question. Here two things are happening. Researchers are using computer images for two things. So here we want to show some sort of goal. The researchers have two goals which they want to show here. What are they? One is to help surgeons plan difficult operations and to help to develop programs that will work blah blah blah. These are the two goals for these researchers they want to achieve. Okay, so if it is goal, what do we use? We use an infinitive. So to help is one infinitive, to develop is the another one. Okay, so the use of to help and to develop is correct here in the original sentence. Next is that will work for doctors and nurses in the same way blah blah blah. This is a modifier for develop programs immediately preceding noun. Okay, and that is a relative pronoun, so this is a relative clause that will work for doctors and nurses in the same way that flight simulators do for pilots. So it is a perfect comparison. After that you see a comma, letting medical personnel practice their techniques and blah blah blah. So this is what? This is an and modifier ending with or starting with a present participle, and it is separated by comma. So this is going to modify the subject of the previous clause. And what is the previous clause? That will work for doctors blah 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 till pilots. So what is the subject of this clause? The subject is that. So this letting medical blah 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 is actually modifying this guy. So who is going to letting medical personal practices blah blah blah? These develop programs, these programs, right? So the original sentence we do not see any problem. Let's go to the next one. This is a prospect right now. Plan difficult operations and develop. So here we had to develop, here we have just develop programs. So that is another difference. Having a two makes it more clear to understand the meaning that the researchers are having two goals here to achieve. The next part is to programs to work for doctors and nurses the same way as with flight simulators. So this thing is a bit awkward, not as good as this comparison. In the same way that flight simulators do for pilots. This is a better comparison. So this is another difference you can see here. In Calcutta, there's a big problem in the meaning itself. It is saying researchers are using computer images to help surgeons to plan difficult operations and to develop programs. So now the parallelism is a bit confusing here, whether to start to help surgeon to plan or from to plan difficult operations. So actually it is saying researchers are using computer images to help surgeons to plan difficult operations and to develop programs, which is change in meaning. Okay, that will work for doctors and nurses like flight simulators. So now actually this is comparing doctors and nurses with flight simulators, which is a wrong comparison. Read again. That will work for doctors and nurses like flight simulators. So this is saying that that will work for doctors and nurses which are similar to flight simulators, which is going to be wrong. So Calcutta is not correct. Plan difficult operations and in developing programs. So again this is the wrong part. The same way flight simulators for pilots. If we have a verb like do, simulators do for pilots, then it is going to be more meaningful. So we can reject this also for these two reasons. Similarly, elephant is also having the same problem as Calcutta, to plan difficult operations and developing. Okay, so on the left side I have an infinitive, or on the right side of the conjunction and I have participle, present participle. So this is not a right connection or right conjunction. Okay, I mean the conjunction is correct, but it is not connecting two right things. So that is the problem. That's why America is the right answer.